36-yarder from the right hash to win the game. Cook puts it down. Patterson's kick is up. The field goal is good! 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 The Jaguars have won it! The Jaguars have won it! They have come back from 27-0 to win the game and move on! How good is that?
Riley Patterson, looking all of 12 years old with the game-winning kick. I tell you, if that goalpost had 5 o'clock shadow and that football was a razor, it would have shaved that goalpost clean. I mean, that was as close as it gets without being a stoink. 36 yards for the win, 31-30, but my goodness, 27-0 was the lead for the L.A. Chargers, or San Diego. San Diego's probably very happy today that they don't have to claim this team.
The way the Chargers social media team, attacked us.
Let's take the high road. Let's take the high road.
Hey, something we can call them.
Go ahead.
We
take
call
the
them
low
San Diego for a few minutes.
Look, stuff happens, and it's part of the craziness of sports.
Yeah.
And nobody could have seen this coming.
No.
We picked the Jaguars to win, but we didn't envision the Jaguars falling behind by 27 points and pulling a rabbit out of their butt.
Right.
And Brandon Staley, the coach of the Chargers, a guy we both like, not milking the clock, not running the ball when he's up 27-0, and doing everything he can to shorten the game and limit the opportunities for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I know you're not in the position very often to have that kind of a lead, but you got to be prepared for everything in this business. And Trevor Lawrence, after the stat line early on was 16 passes with 4 completions to his own team and 4 completions to the other team. That's how bad it was for Trevor Lawrence. To his credit, and I always look for this, Chris.
Yeah.
You see demeanor of quarterbacks. The guys who are willing to just give in to the moment and just say it's not our day, and the guys who are unfazed by what's transpired, they've forgotten about it and they move on. And Trevor Lawrence proved to me on Saturday night he's a guy that isn't going to just say it's not my day. I want to go home and I want to crawl into bed and I just want to be out of here. And there's the play that converted the 4th and 1 and set up the game-winning touchdown. That's gutsy, and Doug Peterson explained it very well after the game. When they're inside, you go outside. When they're outside, you go inside. And they were lined up inside, so they popped the run to the outside, and Travis Etienne more than fast enough to get the edge and get the first down and set them up for the game-winning field goal. It really was amazing that the Jaguars pulled this off. It's amazing the Chargers collapsed, and it's amazing the Jaguars held it together and pulled it off.
Yeah, it's amazing, and we'll hit both sides. I think first, you said it right. Just Trevor Lawrence, first playoff game, 4 interceptions. I mean, we're dropping punt returns. I mean, you could have easily just said, you know what, like you said, it's not our day, chalk it up, and we'll get a few, token BS drives to make the score look somewhat or whatever else, but I'm not going to really pull the trigger and make aggressive throws down the field to try to bring us back. But Doug Peterson did a great job of getting him easy completions early on when they were in the comeback. But this is how it all unfolded where they got behind. Little unlucky. Right guard gets beat, tip pass. This is a 4th down call. I mean, this is my issue with the playoffs. It's pass interference all year long in the first quarter, not in the playoffs. Evan Ingram here, hey, I don't know if he's supposed to sit down or continue to run. Either way, Trevor Lawrence should not throw that ball and know that's a Tampa 2 coverage there. Here's another example of the Chargers had a great feel early on for how the Jaguars wanted to attack them, right? I mean, Asante Samuel ran that route for Evan Ingram, basically. But, great defensive play. Trevor doing some, dumb stuff, bad decisions, errant throws, whatever else, and they were sitting there and you're just going, oh, man, I mean, Chargers got all the momentum, and can the Jaguars really mount a comeback or do anything? And I think that drive before the half to get a touchdown before the half was really the thing that at least gave them a little confidence to get going.
And that's the thing. You can't view the score as bigger than it really is because 27-0 is basically 4-0, right? A touchdown gives you 7.
Yep.
I mean, it's simple, but you get intimidated by the number.
Right.
It's not as big as it looks. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing these comebacks. Teams aren't letting themselves become overwhelmed by that score. Just keep doing what you do. Keep chipping away. Whether it's the Vikings down 33-0 to the Colts or the Jaguars down 27-0 to the Chargers or the Jaguars down 27-10 to the Cowboys. I mean, the Jaguars have learned that it's temporary. and we can hold it together and we can get it done. Here's Trevor Lawrence on how he managed to stay level-headed after a very difficult first half of football.
Honestly, didn't have a choice. You know, we've come this far, and those guys are dependent on me. And, you know, to win games in general in this league, but especially in the playoffs, quarterback has to play well. Wasn't playing well, and I knew it was going to take a lot to turn it around, but I told the guys in the huddle, there's no 27-point plays. You know, it's going to be one play at a time. And that's what it took, one play at a time all the way down the field, just again and again and again. And all we can do at this point, we dug ourselves in this hole, all we can do is just try to score every drive. You know, then trust our defense. And if they get a stop, great, give us another chance to score. If they don't, great, we'll get the ball back, we'll go score again. So that was our mindset. And you just gotta keep playing with confidence. That was the one thing. Just self-talk in my head, you know, you're going back and forth. It's tough, you know, when you're struggling and not playing well, but if I don't continue to be myself, we don't have a shot to win because, you know, then I'm going to miss the plays that I usually make. So I just had to keep my confidence, missed a few throws, you know, I think where, you know, some of those turnovers where I was being a little cautious, just, you know, so after that I felt like I kind of got back on track and settled in.
Great observation. He told his teammates there are no 27-point plays. So you got to take it one play at a time, one drive at a time, take care of business, hope the defense gets you some stops, and just focus on what you can control. And it worked. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.